What's up everyone? It's your girl Shay here and I'm back with another video for you guys. And as you can see, this is for another Motivational Monday video. And for this week's topic, I decided to choose codependency or dependency on others. And for the anime or anime character that I'm using as an example is the Hitachiin twins from the anime and manga of the same name, Ouran High School Host Club. And the reason why I chose the Hitachiin twins is because one of their great or biggest story arcs within the manga and the anime is the fact that they are very codependent on each other and them both deciding to be independent from one another. They are twins, so they basically kind of grew up with thinking that the only way that someone was loyal to them is if they were able to tell them apart. So they were very much dependent on each other for their sense of identity. And throughout the manga and also the anime, you see them grow and change and see them deciding to break apart from one another and be a little bit more independent. And I thought that this was a great topic because I feel like so many of us are dependent on others or have been dependent on others, whether that's our friends or our family or even a significant other. Now, one of the definitions that I found for codependency is that, and I'm going to read it straight from my phone, is that codependency is a behavioral condition in a relationship where one person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. Among the core characteristics of codependency is an excessive reliance on other people and approval and a sense of identity. And that definition comes from Wikipedia. Now, what I mean by codependency in our own lives is I feel like a lot of us kind of use codependency on others for mostly for a sense of approval or a sense of identity. And I, for one, can honestly say that I can say that I have actually done this. I know for a long time, my friends, I was very codependent on them as like my sense of identity, especially when I was in high school, because I felt like I'm not gonna say I didn't like I was anything without my friends, but I kind of felt like I couldn't do something without my friends there with me. So I was very dependent on them and very much felt like I wasn't going to succeed or do well without my friends by my side. And the only way for me that behavior kind of changed for me was when I went off to college. So when I went off to college, I went to a college by myself. My friends went to other colleges, kind of spread out, and I was alone. So I kind of had to force myself to kind of basically find my own identity, find what I was interested in, and find like a new group of friends and be okay a lot of times being on my own and not feeling like I needed people that I knew around me to kind of make me a little bit more comfortable. So I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And over time, I got better at it. And even now to this day, as an adult, as an almost 30-year-old female, I enjoy the time I get to spend by myself. I love my friends, I love my family, I love my significant other. But I do enjoy the time that I get to spend by myself and being very independent and not having to depend on others to kind of give me that sense of approval. In that way, I will say that I do kind of seek approval from others to make sure I'm doing things correctly and kind of to make sure that I am okay. So there's still a lot of work there that has to be done. But like I mentioned, I chose the Hitachiin twins to talk about codependency. And with codependency, the Hitachiin twins was a perfect example because, like I mentioned at the beginning, their entire arc was all about them being codependent on each other. They played the which one is Hikaru game for people to try and figure out which one was which. They did everything together. They were basically attached at the hip. And they kind of didn't know what to do without the other one being around. And it was Kaoru who kind of figured out that they needed to be separate or independent from each other for them to be able to grow and to mature into adults. And it took Hikaru a little bit of time to kind of like be okay with this, but he actually was the first one to kind of decide to show the independence that he had from his brother by actually dyeing his hair. I believe in the manga he dyes his hair a dark brown color, and that definitely separated the two from each other. In the anime, when they had them kind of being a little bit more independent from each other, it was during an episode where they were actually in a fight and one twin dyed their hair pink and the other twin dyed their hair blue as a way for people to be able to pretty much tell them apart and to be independent from each other. Now, what I want you guys to figure out is whether or not you guys are codependent on anyone that is around you. Are you codependent on your family, or codependent on your like significant other or your friends? Do you seek them out as a sense of you having some sort of identity? And if you do, how do you want to change that behavior? Or are you someone's codependency? So like I mentioned, it could be a behavioral thing as well. Like, are you the one that's kind of like continuing their behavior of being immature, of them addiction that they may or may not have, you know, those kinds of things as well. And if you've ever been codependent on somebody and you've been able to break away from it, how did you do it? Were you forced to kind of do it, or did it just over time just kind of happen because you noticed the behavior that you had and knew that you needed to change? That's what I definitely want to know and definitely want to see in the comments below. I actually kind of really enjoy talking about the topic of codependency. I hope I explained it well enough and used the example that I chose well enough, mostly because codependency was something that, like I said, I struggled with and kind of still do struggle with as far as a sense of approval from people. But I, more so than anything, kind of like was able to break away from it as a sense of it being some sort of a self-identity for me by me being surrounded by a certain group of people. But that is a video that I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, like I said, comment down below your thoughts that you have about this topic, and feel free to comment down below any topics that you would like me to discuss in future Motivational Monday videos as well. And of course, like always, I have links down below my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. So of course, please check me out on there. And of course, feel free to like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because I know a lot of you guys check out my videos but haven't subscribed yet. So please subscribe. And of course, also please share this video if you think other people are going to enjoy it. That's all I have for you guys. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. All right, you guys.